Oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree. Been wondering just what you mean to me. Oh, Christmas tree.
Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Yommy Brown of Yommycrochetlogy. So today's video is a part 2 of our Christmas outfit for little babies. This is the skirt part, and yeah, if you like my content, don't forget to smash that subscribe button with the bell on so you will be notified for our next video. So let's get started. These are the things that we will be needing for this tutorial. A green cotton yarn, 145 meter, and this is a soft cotton and color green, and this one here is the main color of the project, which is Christmas red or color 30. And this is the information here. This is 3.75 millimeter hook, and then I have this cute fur yarn. We need that too, and this is the information. We need a 6 millimeter hook for this, or 5 will do, I guess. Okay, so fabric glue and a hook, the 3 millimeter hook, and the scissors and the needles. Okay, and let's get started. So first thing is we have to measure our baby's waistline. So in my case, my daughter's waistline is 17.5. It sits between 17.5 and 18, but I will settle in 17 because the material or the yarn is stretchy. So get you yarn and chain 75 is 17 inches, or if you needed more chain, so just add more chain. So this is 75 foundation chain that sits between 17 to 17.5 inches long. Okay, so if you needed more than that, just add more for older babies or older girls. So that's our foundation chain that sits between 17 inches long, and then chain of 1, and then half double crochet in the next stitch. So this is your first 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 5. So continue doing this half double crochet until you reach at the end of this row, and I'll meet you at the end of that row. So we're at the end of this row now. We'll just have to do some half double crochet to close it off, and this is what it looks like, your half double crochet row. And this time chain of 2, 1 and 2, and turn your work. Okay, and half double crochet in the next stitches. So again, it's the same pattern of half double crochet. So this is 3, 4, 5. Okay, and you have to make it until the end of this row and make this pattern or repeat this pattern 5 times, or 5 rows of half double crochet, okay, to make it this much. Okay, and after that I will meet you at the end of your 5 rows. So this is my 5 rows of half double crochet. I will just close it with few half double crochets, and make sure your last half double crochet should be in the top of your 2 chain in the beginning of the previous round, so to keep our work a little bit straight. Okay, and this is what it looks like now, the 5 rows of half double crochet, and then we will attach the ends of this project. So you'll just have to slip stitch, okay, to connect the 2 ends. So again, chain of 2, 1 and 2, and then half double crochet in the next. So this is 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 5, 6. Okay, so continue your half double crochet around your little skirts. Okay, so I am at the end of this row now. Just add a few more of half double crochets, and we will end this row with a slip stitch. So slip stitch in the chain 2 that you made in the first part of this row, and then chain of 2, so 1 and 2, and then again half double crochet in the next stitches. So this is 2, 3, 4, 5, And you have to make this pattern from here all the way to the end until you slip stitch at the top of the 2 chains. Okay, so you have to make 16 rows of half double crochet, and that fits for my baby. So if you have a taller girl or older girl, so you obviously need more rows. Okay, and this is the front. You just have to add more rows, or 16 rows, to have a good coverage. So I'm at the end of these 16 rows now. I just have to close it off with few half double crochets to finish off my row. So 2 and 3, and then slip stitch at the top of 2 chain that we created in the first part of this row, and then we can snip off this yarn now. Okay, so this is what it looks like now, the skirt, and this time we will create the slit. So we will count from this side 10 stitches. Okay, so it's up to you which side you want the slit, but in my case this is where I want the slit, and then I just counted 10 stitches from the side, and again insert my hook and yarn in that stitch, tighten the yarn, and this time we will create the slit. Okay, then chain of 3, so 1, 2 and 3. The stitch after that you have to double crochet, so that's 1 double crochet, and then skip 2 stitches, 1 and 2, and in the third make a puff stitch. So wrap your yarn, insert your hook into the stitch, wrap your yarn, insert your hook to the stitch for the second time, and insert your hook again for the third time. And then once you're ready, wrap your yarn around the hook and pull the yarn to the second to the last yarn in your hook, and then again wrap your yarn around your hook and pull it through till the end. This is what a puff stitch looks like, and then a chain of 2, and then again repeat the process in the same stitch. So wrap your yarn around your hook, insert it in the same stitch, wrap your yarn, pull it through 1, that's your first insert, so this is the second time. Insert your hook, wrap your yarn around your hook, pull it through, and that's the second time. Again, wrap your yarn around your hook, insert it in the same stitch, and wrap your yarn around the hook and pull it through. So once you're ready, you're happy, and wrap your yarn, pull it through to the second to the last yarn in your hook, and wrap your yarn and pull it through till the end. Okay, so you basically insert your hook in the same stitch 3 times, and then skip 2 stitches this time and make a double crochet and the stitch after you skip. Okay, so 1 and then another double crochet into the next. Same pattern of puff stitch pattern that we did in our top. Again, skip 2 stitches and make a puff stitch together. So this is the first puff, so 2 and 3. Oops, sorry, it's got. And then wrap your yarn, pull it through, wrap your yarn, pull it through, and chain of 2, 1 and 2, and again make a puff stitch in the same stitch from the previous round. So 1, 2 and 3, so meaning 3 times that we insert our hook in the same stitch to create 1 puff stitch. Then wrap your yarn and pull it through. So this is what it looks like. And again, skip 2 stitches and make a double crochet after that. So 1 and 2. So 2 double crochets after you skip 2 stitches. Okay, repeat that until you reach at the other end. So we're at the end of this row now. We'll just have to continue the pattern. So we end with puff stitch and then skip 2 and then double crochet in the next stitches. So this is our first double crochet and the second one. And if you've noticed, there's another 1 stitch here, so just double crochet into the last stitch. Okay, so end up with 3 double crochets at the end, and then instead of connecting your work, instead turn your work, and then we will be working in rounds now. Okay, so chain of 2, 3, and then and the next 2 stitches, which is the top of 2 double crochets, you have 2 double crochet at the top of that. So this is 2. And then there's a 2 chain space. You have to make a puff stitch. So insert your hook. 1, 2, and 3. So meaning this is the third time that we insert our hook to create the puff stitch. And then once you're ready, wrap your yarn and pull it through. And then wrap your yarn again and pull it through till the end. And that's the first puff stitch. And then chain of 2. And again, repeat the process in the same chain space from the previous round. So this is 1 and 2 and 3. So this is the second puff stitch in the same stitch or same chain 2 space, and then the 2 double crochet after that. This is 1 and 2. Okay, so the same pattern, continue the pattern. In my case, I only need 5 rows, and that's long enough for my baby. So if you needed more rows for older babies or taller babies, just add more rows of the puff stitch, and I'll meet you at the end of that row. So we're here at the end of this row. So this is the last puff stitch. Again, make the puff stitch, insert your hook, 1 and 2, pull it through, wrap your yarn, insert your hook in the same chain space, and wrap your yarn and pull it through, and wrap your yarn and pull it through to the second to the last yarn in your hook, and wrap your yarn and pull it through till the end. So that's the first puff stitch, and a chain of 2. And then again, repeat the process of the puff stitch in the same chain of 2 space from the previous round. So this is the second time you insert your hook, and the third time. So again, once you're ready, pull it through, wrap your yarn and pull it through. Okay, and then there's the 2 double crochet at the end, and of course you have to double crochet at the top of that double crochet from the previous round. So this is the end of our 5 rows of puff stitch. If you end up making 5 rows, so you can snip off the yarn. So we're halfway done, and this is the skirt looks like now. It looks like a little cute pencil skirt. Yay! It has a gradual shape. It's because of the stitches we use. And then grab your holly leaves. The tutorial should be in the description box below or in the card above, and then we will attach it together. So I'm just testing where I'm gonna put my little holly around this skirt. So it's up to you where you're gonna put yours. Mine is, I only have 3 here, so I'll just make sure it's evenly or it's nicely done around the skirt. And this time grab your red yarn and a hook and a chain of 120. So make a chain of 120. This is for the waist line, so this is to adjust the waist. Okay, and I end up making 120, and that fits for a 15-month-old baby to 18-month-old baby. So this is the chain of 120. So if you don't know what a chain is, please refer in the description box below or in the card above for the tutorial how to make a chain, and then snip off your yarn. I have here my embroidery needle, and I will use that to attach our chain to the waistband. So just do stitches that you're comfortable. Okay, so it's adjustable waistline. This is so cute. This time we will attach our holly leaf, so I'm just placing it where I want it to be, so it should be alright. 2 in the front and 1 at the back. So it's up to you how you will place your little holly, and we will be stitching this. But first is grab your fabric glue. So what I'm doing here is I'm gonna fabric glue just a tiny tip at the end of the holly leaves, but if you prefer pinning them down, that's fine too. But in my case, I just glued the holly tip to my skirt, so it's not gonna move around when I'm stitching it. grab your green yarn and needle, and we will be stitching the holly just the side, and do not pull the yarn so tightly. It actually makes the leaves crumple a little bit or look so tight, so we don't want that. So just relax your stitches and you should be alright. And you have to stitch the edges of the leaves around. Do that to all your leaves, or how many leaves you have. In my case, I have 3 sets of holly leaves for this skirt. We're finished stitching the leaves, so I'm at the back now. I'll just cut it off the green yarn, and as much as possible keep your stitches a bit tidy. So this is the skirt now, and then grab your fur yarn if you prefer. This is also optional, and then we will attach that fur yarn using 5mm hook or 6mm hook. I'm using a 5mm hook here, and then tie your yarn to the skirt. So wrap the yarn around your hook and pull it through, okay, and then chain of 1. So in this case, we are at the upper part of the skirt, which is a bit difficult because the stitches here are tiny and the hook is big. You will just insert to all the stitches evenly. So we are doing a single crochet around the skirts. Once you're done at the top, you also need to do that at the bottom of your skirt, around the bottom of your skirt, and I will meet you at the end of that. So we're here at the end of our rows for the fur yarn, and this is the bottom part, which is a lot easier to work into because the stitches is a lot bigger. And then we're done. We can snip off the yarn, and this time you have to wave the ends. You cannot glue this kind of yarn. It's not gonna look good if you glue fur yarn because the glue actually stiffen it. So you just wave the ends until you run out of ends. And this is our skirt now. So cute! It's so Christmassy. You can also do this in a different color if you don't want the Christmas version of this. You can wear it in an everyday basis, so you can also use a different color. And thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you guys learned and enjoyed the video. If you like my content, please don't forget to subscribe and give this a like. And let me know if you end up making for your little one. And happy holidays. Goodbye!
O come, Emmanuel, and ransom captive Israel. O come, Emmanuel.